The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. This is Piotr Letsky from Alarm Corp, and we are just about to start our webinar for today. We're just waiting for a few of the people, few latecomers to join us, and we will be beginning shortly. Thank you. So just bear with us. Let's get started. Thank you all for joining us. And today's webinar is on the Xtralis V3100 and on the new Video Central Platinum Central Management software. My name is Piotr Letsky, and I am the National Product Manager of CCTV here at Alarm Corp, based in the Mount Waverly office. So let's begin. Okay. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Some of you may have used the GoToWebinar software before. For those of you who haven't, just a couple of tips. You will see this pull-down menu on the right where you see the Grab tab. Now, some of the critical items is we have the Raise Hand button. So can I please get you all just to press that just to verify that you can hear me? Okay, wonderful. I am seeing a few hands go up. Thank you very much if you want to put them down. Next, you will see that on your webinar the microphone button is crossed out. You will all be muted for the duration of this webinar. And at the end, I will be taking questions. So you will see the question bar at the bottom. You will be able to type in your question. You can type in a question at any time during the webinar. I will, however, answer them at the end. And don't forget, when you have typed your question, is to hit the send button so that I see it. Okay, with that out of the way, let's begin. This webinar will cover the following. We will cover the new AdPro V3100. We will cover the Video Central Platinum software. We will also discuss briefly the Xtralis AdPro Advantage, and importantly, we will talk about legacy support and an upgrade path for existing AdPro sites. Okay, let's introduce the V3100. The AdPro V3100 is the latest generation in the AdPro Fast Trace family. Now, it is offered alongside the original Fast Trace, which is field proven and still going strong. However, the V3100 offers H.264 video transmission and recording, and the V3100 offers hybrid capability. It can support analog cameras and IP cameras. And the V3100, which you can see a photo on this slide, supports a maximum of 16 camera channels. Okay, now that we've briefly introduced the AdPro V3100, let's discuss a little bit the AdPro Advantage. You know, what is it that makes the AdPro V3100 and even the older AdPro Fast Trace such a potent product? AdPro is first and foremost a video transmission system. It is designed for video verification of alarms at remote sites. It provides fast and reliable video transmission and easy remote site management. It gives multiple communications ports, so a primary, redundant, and a backup for enhanced reliability and redundancy. And this puts it in a league above most other DVRs as when it comes to reliable communication from remote sites. Now, it gives you simultaneous access from multiple remote users, and also it gives you standards compliant event logging for audit trails. So it will log who logged into what site, etc., etc. It just gives you a much more comprehensive logging capability than most other video management softwares. Okay, so just to recap, AdPro is really designed for remote video transmission. It can also do recording. However, video transmission, reliable, fast video transmission, is its primary objective. Okay, Now let's look at the available models in the V3100 series. Fundamentally, there are three versions or flavors available of the V3100. It comes in an analog only model, in other words BNC inputs on the back, and that is available in either 4, 8, 12 or 16 input versions. We have an IP only or NVR model, which comes with either 8 or 16 inputs. And finally we have a hybrid model, HVR, which is available in either 4 analog and 8 IP inputs or 8 analog and 8 IP inputs. So just to recap, we have analog only, in other words DVR, we have IP only, which is NVR, and we have hybrid, which is HVR. Now the hard drive sizes are available from 500 gig all the way through to 8 terabytes. And that's currently the maximum size. And the unit is offered in a 19-inch rack mount chassis, and as you can see in the photo below, it is the same size as the existing fast trace unit. So if you do need to pull out an existing unit, it will occupy exactly the same rack space as the existing one. Major difference is that you can see we've got the additional ventilation filters on the front. Okay, so what are the key advantages and features of the V3100 over and above the existing fast trace? First of all, the V3100 uses the latest generation H.264 compression to deliver much higher image quality. Because H.264 is much more efficient, for an equivalent image quality, you get lower bandwidth and faster transmission. For the first time, we can offer real-time recording per channel on every channel, something that is not possible with the fast trace DVR. Next, the V3100 offers full 4-CIF maximum analog resolution, whereas on the fast trace you could only go up to 2-CIF. We offer dual encoding and dual streaming, which means you can set high quality for local recording and a lower quality for transmission, and the two are independent. With the larger hard disks, we can deliver significantly longer recording times. Just to recap, the existing fast trace supports a maximum of 2 terabytes capacity, whereas the new V3100 can give you up to 8 terabytes. So not only have you got 4 times the actual hard drive capacity, but given the fact that you have better compression, you can actually get, at an equivalent quality, you can get higher recording times as well, even if you go with the same hard drive size. Now, flexibility. As we mentioned earlier, the V3100 offers an analog version, a hybrid version, or a full IP version. It supports third-party IP cameras, and more on that in the next slide. And for the first time, this device also supports high definition, in other words, megapixel IP cameras. Remote access to the device is possible via the Video Central. For the first time, we now have a web browser client interface, and there's also a built-in mini remote client. The V3100 offers a local VGA monitor connection for local configuration. And finally, we have video analytics, and this includes both standard video analytics and some optional video analytics. And we will discuss these in the next slide. Okay. The built-in video analytics. Included as standard, the V3100 has camera tamper detection, and this can detect the following: an obscured camera, a camera that's been moved, or a camera that's been defocused. Now this is a really powerful feature. It can give you very proactive site maintenance / management. Now, in the case of cameras at remote sites, many things can happen to a camera. As we all know, cobwebs, dust builds up on the front glass, and that tends to obscure and degrade the image, whether via the act of freak weather or deliberate vandalism. Cameras can be turned around, poles can be broken, or the camera can be even sprayed over. So, if you have a typical site with tens of cameras, it can be difficult for the security manager to actually notice when a camera its image has changed, because if a camera has been moved, you do not actually get video loss. The camera is still transmitting video. All it means is that the image that you're getting is no longer the image that was at commissioning time. So with this camera tamper detection, you've got this ability to be proactively informed that, hello, the camera image is now different, sufficiently different from when it was commissioned, that it warrants attention. Now, of course, the unit does have standard motion detection built in to be able to trigger on motion recording. We also have retrospective motion search, also known as smart search capability. So this means that you can highlight a region of interest and search for movement, as in the example below with the image. I want to know when did that car move from the car park. Now, furthermore, V3100 does integrate with the Xtralis Presidium Outdoor VMD for advanced outdoor motion detection. So if you have an existing site with a Presidium system, the V3100 will work with it. And finally, included as standard is the privacy masking for cameras, so that you can mask out sensitive areas on cameras to prevent the operator seeing them. Now, a typical application might be, let's say, in a university where a camera is overlooking a car park and part of the camera image includes a residential house across the street. So you might want to mask that out. Okay. Next, we move on to the optional video analytics. Now, the optional analytics are available as an extra per channel license, and there is a cost involved to deploy these optional analytics. However, what is available is true video motion detection, in other words, Presidium type capability into the unit. And with that, you can set up much more accurate motion detection, specify a region of interest, specify a tripwire, specify object size, so that you can really tune the system into the environment. We also have loitering detection, so that we can detect and trigger if somebody is loitering in or next to a sensitive area for more than a preset time. Now, with the optional analytics, a maximum of 4 analytics channels may be enabled on a V3100, but importantly, the analytics will work both on the analog channels and on the supported IP cameras, which again, this is a very, very powerful capability. Okay, next, let's look at the supported IP cameras by the V3100. And alphabetically, the V3100 supports models from Aricont, Axis, Samsung, Sony, Sanyo, and UTC from the UltraView family. Now, as we go forward, other implementations are planned, and as they are released, we will obviously inform the market. Now, there are obviously a great number of models from within each of these product ranges, so I would only say please refer to the relevant product data sheets for a list of the supported cameras, and also if there are any limitations on particular camera models as far as functionality. Now, ordering options for the V3100. Apart from deciding whether you want analog only, hybrid, or NVR, and how many channels, within each unit size you can also order it with extra input-output modules for additional alarm input-output, different hard drive sizes as we said, and let's say you've ordered a unit with 4 analog cameras or 8 analog cameras, and you decide once you get on site, I need to expand the system, I want to add more cameras. You can purchase an expansion card. So there are 3 options, either 4 additional analog cameras, 8 additional analog cameras, or 8 additional IP cameras. Now, the only limitation is that the total number of supported cameras cannot exceed 16 channels. And finally, also available are Power over Ethernet relay modules, which means, let's say you've got the system deployed and you want to be able via remotely turn on lights, open gates, etc. This is where these PoE relay modules come into their own. And you can see some of the pictures of these products, of these additional options on the side. Okay. I mentioned earlier that the V3100 offers web browser capability. So when you connect over Internet Explorer web browser, you have options to do the following. First of all, as we see in this slide, system configuration. So you can actually go in, configure your Ethernet settings. As you can see, under Ethernet, we can set, we can set the IP address, we can set the subnet mask, we can set the gateway, and we can even limit the bandwidth. Also, a very powerful, although potentially dangerous feature is this IP address filter. Let's say you are on a system with multiple users, multiple computers, and you want to restrict which remote computers can access a particular device. You would then add the computers to the whitelist. And what the whitelist means is that nothing other than the computers on the whitelist can access a particular device. Then you've got the blacklist, and on the blacklist you can decide which computers cannot access the particular DVR, and this is configurable on a per V3100 basis. And the reason I say this is potentially dangerous is if you only ever enter a single entry into the whitelist, then obviously only that one device can enter it. So a very, very powerful feature, but one that does require a little bit of thought and planning. Going further down the left, we can see that we can configure the Presidium high-level interface, we can configure the video input, we can configure any email settings, we can configure the unit's behavior, so disarm schedules, alarm profiles, alarm transmission, we can change the camera settings, we can set the recording schedule, then we can set the general settings such as date and time, schedule holidays, and we can even manage users from within the website, from within the web browser itself. And of course, once you've made any changes, we can hit the save button, and that is automatically saved into the unit. Next, if you choose the live view option, you can view any of the connected cameras on the V3100 live via web browser, and you can view up to 16 cameras at once. And as you can hopefully see on the right, we can take a snapshot of any of the camera images, and we can also do local recording to the computer of what's being streamed. So let's say you're live viewing something up via web browser, you see an incident happening, you can actually record that incident on the fly as it's streaming through to your web browser. And you can see hopefully at the bottom of each screen it gives you the camera information. In this case we can see that all the camera 1 is camera 6 in the top left-hand corner is being streamed at SIF resolution, and we're streaming in real time at 25 images per second. So this is the live view screen. Next we have the playback screen, which gives access to a video that's been recorded at the V3100. So you can see here on the right we can search by time or by event. On the left we have a little playback window where you can specify play, pause, frame by frame forward, frame by frame backward, fast forward or rewind. We can take a snapshot. We have the option to go into the advanced search, and we also have the option to do post motion search. And of course here you can see on the right under the download button we can download footage of the unit to the web browser, to the local computer. And at the bottom you can see we've got a little calendar timeline which gives us when footage is recorded, and of course both the current playback time, and also we can see the little icons to specify which bit of footage you want to burn. So that's the playback screen. Now, so that more or less concludes on the V3100. Now we're going to talk a little bit about Video Central Platinum. Now Video Central is the central management software that has been used with AdPro DVRs since a very long time. Video Central Platinum, or VCP for short, is the replacement for the field-proven Video Central Gold. Now, Video Central Platinum is required to connect to the V3100 if you have an existing site with fast trace machines and you have Video Central Gold. Video Central Gold cannot access the latest V3100 machines. You will need to upgrade to VCP. However, VCP is backwards compatible with existing fast trace machines. In other words, you install Video Central Platinum on site and it will be capable of talking with your existing legacy machines. The good news is VCP will work with an existing VCG license key, so you don't need to necessarily get a second license unless you want to run two computers separately. And also importantly, Video Wall is now included with VCP. Previously with Video Central Gold, if you wanted Video Wall functionality, this was a separate license. Now Video Wall is included with VCP. And of, I guess, very high importance to the operator, the VCP look feel on the interface is very similar to Video Central Gold, so there is little and potentially no retraining needed. Okay. So just to recap, Video Central Platinum supports V3100 and it supports all legacy machines, so the AdPro FastView, the FastTX, the FastTrace, and the FastScan. Right. Here we have a screenshot of Video Central Platinum, and as you can see, other than some differences in colors, the layout is virtually identical to Video Central Gold, and that's done deliberately to keep the operator instantly familiar with the interface. So you can see we've got the camera views in the middle. In this case we're seeing 4 cameras. We've got the controls on the right, we've got an event tab on the bottom and a menu up at the top. So let's just look at that in a bit more detail. You see here at the top we've got the menu, so file, connection, view, live audio, audio tools and help. At the bottom we've got the event log shown, so that is just a scrolling event log with the latest event being shown up at the top. And the controls, you can see that we've got icons to dial a site, hang up a site, site information, acknowledge a site, specify the multi-screen views, whether we want to view a single camera or what multiple screen we want. We've got the option to acknowledge a site, and also we can see that what the status of any particular device is, whether it's online, whether we're seeing audio, and also what the selected image quality is. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Video Central Platinum as a remote video management system. Like Video Central Gold, VCP is very highly scalable. So you can start off with a single system, single workstation, all the way through to a client-server architecture where you have a single central server which holds all of your user access credentials and multiple workstations logging in and getting the user rights of the central server. VCP provides very fast video alarm verification, and this is a key strength of the Xtralis system, that it provides very, very fast video alarm transmission. Next, it allows two-way audio challenge to discourage intruders, and this is particularly useful on higher security sites where you'd rather warn the intruder off than having to deploy a security guard to go and check the situation out. VCP can provide automated virtual guard tools across multiple sites. Now what that means is that you can program a virtual guard tool, and the unit, your central VCP workstation, will automatically log into a particular site, display particular cameras, then at the preset time log off from that site, log onto the next one, display selected cameras, then log on to the next one and the next one. So it gives you a very easy and a very powerful feature to very quickly bring up remote sites from several locations in a fully automatic way. Now there is individual user access control to control who sees what. In other words, you can specify on a user-by-user basis which sites they can access and also which cameras they can access, whether they can view live, whether they can view playback. So again, that very high degree of controllability. You will get automatic operator notification in case of site failure. So if the communication drops out completely, the system will let you know, hello, I've lost my site out in Broadmeadows. Please take a look. VCP gives you a map-driven GUI, which provides an easy site overview. And just to clarify what that means is let's say you have multiple sites. You know, you might have a high-level map of, say, Victoria, then you can drill down and I want to look at Melbourne western suburbs, then drill down, I want to look at Deer Park, and then I want to look at my individual, let's say, petrol stations within the Deer Park area. So again, very, very powerful feature and gives you a very, very easy way to manage and see which site is where. The video wall functionality provides multiple camera views on multiple monitors, and we will talk about video wall in the next couple of slides. I guess to sum up, there are many remote video client programs available. There's one with virtually every DVR on the market. And then there is Video Central, which is still setting the benchmark for video verification and site management. You know, Video Central has been on the market for more than 25 years. So, you know, there is 25 years of experience behind this product. And to put this into perspective, there are over 40,000 active sites worldwide and over 400 monitoring stations. So, you know, this is a system that has proven itself time and time again in the field. Okay. Now, some of the applications for Video Central and V3100. This is a system that's suited particularly well to sites where, let's say, risk of incident is higher. You know, so we're talking about multi-campus educational facilities. We're talking about healthcare and pharmaceuticals. And in pharmaceuticals in particular, you know, you would have heard recently that there have been break-ins into various sites, people trying to steal precursor chemicals. You know, there's a big black market for things that are manufactured at pharmaceuticals factories. Correctional facilities, you know, where there is zero margin for error, where you need to know an alarm has happened and you need to verify it very, very quickly. Next, you know, you look at water, power, and telecommunications utilities with multiple remote sites. And water is particularly a good example. In a country like Australia, we are so reliant on our water. We have many sites that are quite remote. And so at a site, you will want to know, was the alarm tripped by a kangaroo coming down to drink, or is it actually somebody coming down to tamper with the water supply? In these applications, you need to know, and you need to know now. Government facilities, logistics and distribution. If you talk about bonded warehouses where there are high-value goods, you know, with the current issue with cigarettes, cigarettes are again a high target for theft. Car dealerships, again, we're talking about high-value stock. So these are the sorts of applications where V3100 has proven itself time and time, where the Fast Trace and Video Central have proven itself time and time again, and there are reference sites available. And of course, finally, refineries and petrochemical plants, because if something goes wrong, there is, again, high scope for a lot of damage. Now let's talk a little bit about Video Central and Video Wall functionality. Video Wall can have up to 4 monitors per Video Wall PC. Now that's 2 per graphics card. Of course, you need a suitably specified PC to run Video Wall, and you can have up to 4 Video Wall PCs on a single system. So what that means is that you can have up to 16 monitors on a single system, and a total of up to 320 cameras simultaneously. So as you can see there, this is very scalable to a much larger system where you do need more than 10 or 20 cameras. You know, There are systems that can display maybe 20 or 64 cameras at once, but if you need to go beyond that, if you do have multiple sites, then Video Central provides a very, very good solution. Now, each monitor within Video Wall can be individually configured. And just to recap, Video Wall is now included with Video Central Platinum. Okay, here we see a screenshot of the Video Wall configuration screen. And as you can see, we can pick any monitor of the 16 monitors, and they're picked by the tabs along the bottom of the screen. And we can literally drag and drop cameras into any given location. As you can see, we've got the site and camera pull-down list on the left, and at the top we have a number of pre-configured monitor layouts. So you can see single, quad, 7-way, 9-way, 10-way, 16-way, etc., etc. So you can individually configure each of those layouts. Then you can save the monitor and load the monitor at will. Now, available information on Video Central Platinum. We have data sheets, and I do apologize, the blown up quality on this slide is not the best. However, we do have data sheets. They are available at the Xtralis website. We have information available on the V3100. There are data sheets available, again, on the Xtralis website, available for download. We have a recording calculator for the V3100. So in this example, you can see that we want to record at 4CIF at 12 images per second. The resulting or the recommended bitrate is 1 megabit per second per camera. We want to record 16 cameras, and in this case, if we want to record for 30 days, it recommends that you will need approximately 6 terabytes of hard drive space. Okay, now I want to run a little presentation on Xtralis for mission critical sites. So let's see if this works. Okay. Okay. So hopefully all of you can see the animation. And you can see here in this example, we're looking at a water facility which is in a remote area. And we can see that it's a system combining the AdPro outdoor motion detectors with Video Central and with Presidium. Okay, hopefully that came through okay. Okay, now, so right, so we've shown you that. We've shown you how you can combine the outdoor motion detectors with the V3100 system for a really reliable outdoor solution. Now, some upgrade issues to consider. if you're looking at upgrading an existing V3100 site, so an existing fast trace site to the V3100, with fast trace machines, they went up to 20 channels, whereas with the V3100, the maximum is 16 channels. Now, if you're looking at deploying IP cameras on site, then it really becomes important to check the available network topology, and this is particularly if using megapixel cameras, because they do require much more bandwidth than a normal resolution camera. Next, bandwidth back to the central monitoring station. If you do want to stream megapixel resolution back to the monitoring station, to Video Central Platinum, you will need a thicker pipe than what you would if you're just streaming normal cameras at normal resolutions. Finally, more than likely you will need a new PC hardware to run Video Central Platinum, and typically today that will be a Windows 7 PC. As of today, you will need Windows 7 32-bit. And finally, looking at upgrading the license, more from a hardware perspective. Many old computers with Video Central used to have a parallel dongle, and a number of new PCs actually don't have a parallel port anymore. So you can really only plug in a USB key, so that may need to be looked at if you're looking at upgrading. Okay, and finally a sneak preview. There is an iPhone application coming soon for the Xtralis platform. I can't reveal any details yet, however, it is coming soon and more details are to follow. Okay, would you like to know more? More information, including brochures and datasheets, may be found at our website, www.alarmcorp.com.au. You can also go to the Xtralis website, www.xtralis.com. Please subscribe to the Alarm Corp Pulse to receive new product information automatically. You can register online with alarmcorp.com.au to get full access to our e-commerce platform, including your own pricing and order placement. Please contact your nearest Alarm Corp representative, Jeff Rushton in New South Wales, on jmr@alarmcorp.com.au and the phone number listed. Jonathan Johnson in New South Wales on jpj@alarmcorp.com.au, phone number to follow. I didn't get a chance to put that in today. I do apologize. Stephen Dinger in Victoria, SA or WA on spd@alarmcorp.com.au, or contact myself, Piotr Letsky, direct on the number listed 0421 378 334, or on my email, which is prd@alarmcorp.com.au. Thank you for your time. Now, if you register during the month of June and place an e-commerce order in the month of June, you can get 10% off your first e-commerce order. So that's just a little bit of an incitement to get you to register with our e-commerce platform. Okay, now over to question time. Please remember, if you've typed in a question, to hit the send button. Okay, and we will stand by for questions. Okay. First question, does Alarm Corp supply these monitors properly configured for the video wall machines? The answer to that is no. You can use any commercially available monitor to run with video wall. Whether you choose to use a ultra-view widescreen monitor or whether you choose to use a commercially available plasma screen, that does not really matter. What matters is that you connect the monitor to your computer either via DVI or HDMI cable, that the computer you choose to use has got the appropriate video card outputs, and the configuration is actually done within the video wall software, and then the monitor just displays what's thrown at it. So there's actually no monitor configuring per se. It's all done in the software. The next question is, are there any approximate guidelines for the required bandwidth to remote stream from V3100 to VCP? Yes, there are. That is covered within the user manual, and also you can see if you use the recording calculator, it gives you a recommendation that if you want to transmit for SIF, for example, at 12 images per second, then you need approximately 1 megabit. Obviously, if you scale back from that, SIF or 2 SIF, you may need a few hundred kilobytes per second, but there are some guidelines given in the manual. I hope that answers that. I mean, obviously, the more bandwidth you get, the better. And these days, most places you should be able to get ADSL2, and with ADSL2 you can get up to typically 512 megabit uplink fairly easily. And this is actually important to point out. If you look at your ADSL speeds, ADSL is asymmetrical, meaning your download speed is faster than your upload speed. Now, as far as a V3100 is concerned, that's out on site, the important parameter for it is the upload speed, because from a network perspective, the V3100 will be uploading to the ADSL, not downloading from it. Okay, any more questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, then I would like to say thank you all for attending. I hope you found this informative. A recording of this webinar will be available fairly soon on the Alarm.com website for download. And if you have any more questions, just either contact myself. If you think of anything else to ask at the end of this webinar, then again, contact either myself or one of my colleagues within Alarm.com. Thank you for your time.